So if you've been following along with this series, I ended up leaving beautiful Switzerland and I took an overnight train from Basel to Amsterdam. It was about a 12-hour train ride, but I slept most of the way and made some good friends on the train. I stayed in a hostel for a few nights, but I had my tent with me and I found this place to camp relatively cheap that is north of the city. It's called Camping Vliegenbos and I really enjoyed it. I'll put a link below in the description if you want to check it out. And I get to a new city, I start filming the birds. Here's a bunch of cool birds that I saw in the area. Except for those flamingos, I saw those at a zoo. I was in Amsterdam for about a week and I mostly just walked around the city, visited some museums and some parks. It's a really unique place and I'm just gonna kind of show you some random pictures and video clips that I took while I was there. This place is like nowhere I've ever been. You really don't know what you're going to see when you turn the corner. And I mean, these pictures are definitely kind of random, but I don't know, I thought they deserved a spot in this video. Amsterdam's liberal policies around cannabis and psychedelic truffles are also a part of the city's appeal, especially for travelers seeking out unique experiences. And honestly, as an American, that's kind of where my mind goes first when I think of this city. And I think that's kind of unfortunate because there's so much more to this place. Amsterdam has a fascinating history that dates back to the 12th century, where it began as a modest fishing village near the Amstel River. Early settlers built a dam to protect against flooding, and by the 17th century, Amsterdam was one of the world's most important ports, largely due to the powerful Dutch East India Company. That company had an extensive trade network that stretched from Europe, Asia, and the Americas. This rapid growth attracted skilled craftsmen, merchants, and bankers, and the city transformed into a center for commerce, finance, and innovation. The wealth generated from trade funded Amsterdam's iconic canal system, a marvel of urban planning and engineering that still defines the city's layout today. The population within the city is about 850,000 people, and the larger metropolitan area is around 2.5 million people. I visited the Moco Museum, which had some works of art from Banksy on display, as well as several other pieces. I wish I could have planned ahead and got tickets to the Anne Frank House and the Van Gogh Museum, but I didn't make it to either of those places. I did go to this museum called Micropia, which was one of the most unique museums I've ever been to. It's dedicated to the invisible world of microbes, and it's the first museum of its kind aiming to showcase the importance of microorganisms in our daily lives and the broader ecosystem. Micropia offers interactive exhibits which allows visitors to see various microbes through microscopes, which provide a fascinating perspective on bacteria, fungi, viruses, and other microorganisms that are essential to life. Micropia seeks to change the way we think about these tiny organisms, emphasizing that microbes are not only vital to human health, but also to the health of our planet. The North Sea is only about 20 kilometers from the city center, and it's easily accessible from Amsterdam by train. It was a gorgeous but very windy day when I went there to visit. I had some fresh seafood and walked on the beach. Definitely a great day in Holland. The North Sea has long been central to Dutch maritime life, influencing everything from trade to fishing, and is a gateway for shipping routes connecting northern Europe. Climate change poses a unique threat to this region as rising sea levels and intensifying storms increase the risks of coastal erosion and flooding. There's a sculpture called Exposure on the North Sea, which is a 25-meter tall piece of art by British artist Anthony Gormley. It's a very striking structure on the landscape that speaks to the effects of climate change and human vulnerability in this landscape. One can only hope that it remains above water in the years to come. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the Dutch were regarded as masters of the sea, leading one of the most powerful maritime empires in history. A ship known as the Batavia was a flagship vessel of the Dutch East India Company and a renowned example of these advanced ships. The Batavia tragically sank 65 kilometers off the coast of Western Australia in 1629. A horrible story of mutiny and betrayal followed the shipwreck, and I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to learn more about the Batavia. Today, a full-scale replica of the Batavia can be visited in Lelystad, which is a city not far from Amsterdam. Well, that's going to do it for this video, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.